Hey, welcome to Let's Go. Today, we're talking about going the extreme. So, what does that really mean? Well, let's dig into it some. And to do that, I've got the perfect place to take you to today. So, you ready? Let's go. This is the Railyard, a cool place where riders of all ages and skill levels come to push their skills to the next level. It doesn't matter if they're riding a BMX bike or a mountain bike. They come to learn agility and jumps, but mainly the jumps. Now, can it be scary? You know it. Can it be exhilarating? Absolutely. But again, this is the place they come to push their skills to the next level, regardless of what level they're at right now. So, let's go take a look at it. Some would consider this an element of the extreme sports. And well, I suppose it kind of is. Well, you can definitely learn your skills for that here, that's for sure. But like I said, this place has something for all skill levels. You go down that path over there and well, it's for the beginners. Go down paths over here and well, they're for the experts. People come here to have fun with the skills they've already learned or to grow in new skills. Doing extreme things means you have to put yourself in, well, extreme circumstances. But here's the thing, when it comes to life, sometimes we don't get the opportunity to choose. Sometimes we're just thrust into situations to force us to grow, whether we think we're ready or not. You know, some people learn best when they're just thrown into those situations. Like how some people learn with swimming. The mom or dad will just throw them in the water and then they eventually learn to swim. And the same situation can be done or seen with eagles. The mother eagle will eventually push those baby eagles out of the nest to force them to learn how to fly. And then when they're forced out, if they just start to fall, well, she swoops down to pick them up before they hit the ground and brings them back into the nest. The same thing may happen with Yahweh at times in our life. But even then, He knows what we can handle. And even though you may feel like He's just throwing you into some kind of circumstance that you're not ready for, believe it or not, He's been prepping you for it. So, when the time comes, and trust me, it will, He's saying, it's time to step it up. The first time I went super fast on my bike was with a friend. I was going so fast on this hill, it was so steep and so long that it was useless by the time I hit the brakes. I mean, I was just going so fast and the momentum was going so strong, the brakes were doing no good. I was going so fast, the brakes were doing nothing. I was gaining momentum with the brakes completely locked up. I thought for sure I was toast. I really did. I eventually got comfortable on those hills. Well, a little bit. But I would never have thought that I could do what I did that day if it wasn't for my friend challenging me, saying, Steve, you can do this. I'm going, man, that thing is too big. He goes, no, Steve, you can do it. I thought, man, I just don't know about this. Well, I did. Just as friends can be a negative influence, the right friends can be a positive influence. What kind of friends do you have? Do they lead you closer with your walk with Yahweh or the opposite? Living extreme means walking extreme. People should see a difference in you. If they can't, then you need to ask yourself, why? You see, we're called to be overcomers. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. If you want to be an overcomer, then find out how the overcomers in the Bible lived. What did they do? What were their daily routines? What were their attitudes in life? In order to do that, you have to get yourself reading the scriptures. Are you doing that? Trust me when I say the enemy doesn't want you reading the Word. He will do everything he can to prevent you from reading the Word. When the enemy knows you're going to be a threat, do you really think he's just going to leave you alone? He'll make you so busy with things that you won't have time for that which really matters. Then, when you do, he'll try to hit you with every temptation that he can. Then he'll hit you with that feeling of not being worthy enough. Then he'll virtually just sit on your shoulders and browbeat you until you feel completely worthless. Remember, he's the father of all lies, and he comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. We have to get this easy life mentality out of our head. Like with anything else, things don't just happen. We have been given his word, but do we know it? If we don't, is it his fault or is it ours? Living the extreme life in him comes when we know and walk in his word. So, how are you living your life and prepping for the extreme? How are you living your life and prepping for eternity? You see, we may look like we have it all down. We may sound like we have it all down. Everyone around us may think we have it all down. But Yahweh knows if we do or not. When it comes to riding my bike, I've learned a lot. However, right now, I'm working on consistency. You see, to some, my consistency may not appear very strong, and because of that, I may appear as a poser. I had a friend who was a surfer in California, and he was telling me what a poser was. The term poser is actually talking about someone who just poses as a surfer. Posers wear the right shorts, they talk the right talk, and have nice surfboards, but they don't know how to use them. Posers mainly just care how they look to others. They want to look like a real surfer, but more importantly, they want you to think that they're a real surfer. Now, can they become a real one? Absolutely. But you don't become a real surfer by looking the part. You become a real surfer by getting out there with the real surfers. Just like out here. You can have a super cool bike, but can you use it? You see, you can hold your Bible. You can walk with your Bible. You can talk about your Bible. But do you know your Bible? Being a poser will only last for so long. Eventually, people will read through you. Don't be a poser. Yahweh doesn't want a weekend warrior. It's all or nothing. It takes dedication. Posers are known more to walk around with their surfboard than to be in the water on it. Mostly because, well, they don't want to look bad. When it comes to the faith, a weekend warrior only makes a weekend warrior. Give all your life to him, to love him with all your heart, with everything about you. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, O Israel, what does Yahweh your God ask of you but to fear Yahweh your God, to walk in all his ways, to love him, to serve Yahweh your God with all your heart and with all your soul, to observe all Yahweh's commands and decrees that I am giving you today for your own good. But Steve, what does that even mean? Well, it means to make everything you do be founded in him, even your desires. Let his light shine out of you no matter where you're at or what you're doing. When people see you, let them see him. When people hear you, let them hear him. When people think of you, pray that they think of him. That's living the extreme. The days ahead of us may require an extreme faith like never before. In fact, let me say that again. The days ahead of us may require an extreme faith like never before. Are you ready for it? If not, it's time to start getting ready now. Get yourself into His Word today. Start praying like never before. Make prayer a part of your everyday life as you're doing things. If you're not talking to someone else, make sure you're talking to Him. That also means just dwelling on Him and giving Him a chance to speak to your heart just the same. Well, that's all I have. Think about it. Pray about it. But more than anything, be a doer of the Word and not a hearer only. Until next time, Shalom.